Hey, today I'm going to show you how to build a cryptocurrency price spot for Discord and host it for free. This tutorial is going to be based on Solana and SPL tokens, but it works for anything as long as you can get the pricing information. So this price spot is going to look a little bit something like this. We're going to have the token we're watching, the ticker for the token, and the price for the token, which will update on some incremental basis of your choosing. So I'm going to show you how to do this step by step. Feel free to skip through the chapters if you already know how to do something or do you want to jump to something specific. All right, so to start this thing off, the first thing you need is a bot application on Discord. This is basic steps for setting up any bot on Discord. Go to discord.com/developers/applications. And what we're going to do, we're going to click new application. So I guess we'll call this SPL token price bot. All right, we'll give it a little bit of a description here. So once we're here, the main thing we need to get from this to get started is our bot token. So I'm going to go over to bot, hit reset token, and this is going to give us a token. We're going to copy that, put that somewhere temporarily, and very important for this bot token. This is a secret. If someone gets this, they can take over your bot. It's important to hide this. We're going to hide this in the application that we're making. So I'm going to put this to the side and I'll delete this when we're done or update it. Oh, and one other thing I'm going to do for this, I'm going to scroll down and under privilege gateway intents, I'm going to make sure I turn this server members intent for guild members on. This is going to be required to access and update the information on the price bot. So after that, hit save changes and we're good to go. Okay, so now we're going to build the bot and get it running. We're going to build this bot in Replit because this is an easy way to put your bot together and host it for free. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. If you want to do something more complicated like Amazon EC2 instance, you can do that. This is just a simple, fast, free way to get your bot set up and hosted. So I'm going to go to Replit. I'm going to click create. I'm going to use Node.js as the template. We can call this whatever. We'll keep it consistent. And I'll leave this public. Okay, so when the Replit gets set up, it's going to look something like this. So we're going to make this bot as streamlined as possible with just the bare bones. So first thing I'm going to do is get the Discord package installed here. So I'm using the package manager in Replit. If you've never worked with Replit before, don't worry about it. It's pretty easy. In Windows Visual Studio or something, it'd be npm install. Here I'm just using the package manager to do the same exact thing. Okay, now I'm going to build out the skeleton for this thing. We're going to make a file called keepalive.js. We're going to use Express to create a virtual host to keep this thing alive constantly. Then I'm going to create another file called updatePrice, which is going to be a basic function for updating the price on a regular basis. All right, so let's go ahead and get the basic code we need to run our bot ironed out. Most of this is going to go directly in an index file. First thing we need to do here is bring in a couple classes from discord.js. So what we need is client and intents. Discord.js. Good to go. And we're also going to set a few constants, we're going to set a few constants up front here. We're going to define token symbol. This will be whatever symbol you want to use to look up for the price. And we're also going to define something called watching. And this is going to be the text that shows up underneath the nickname of your bot that says watching whatever. So this is going to say watching Space Vizsla in this case, which is the ticker for the token we've got here. All right, now to iron out some basic things we need for the bot, we need to define a new client object here. New client. This is going to have intents, which basically permissions that we need for the bot. Now, prior to recent updates in Discord, you used to have to define these intents as something like intents.flags.guilds. You might have seen that before, but in more recent updates, you can just put guilds. So that's what we're going to put. That's all we need there. That's good to go. And now we will define, once the client is ready, we need to do a few things. So let's get that set up. Client once, like this. And this stuff is directly out of the Discord developer docs. So if you're struggling with any of the syntax here, just go follow that. We're going to log something once we're logged in. Ready, yay. Just to let us know we're in. Let's put a placeholder here. So once we're logged in, first thing we want this bot to do is really update the price. So we're going to put a placeholder here for our update price function, which we will put in this update price file. So put a quick placeholder here for a call update price function. And then we want to set our activity status as well. So we want to say watching Space Vizsla. So for that, we're going to go with client.user.setActivity. Watching you can change this around if you want different text there, but that's something initial we need to set. The last thing we need to do here is we need to set an interval for updating the price of the bot. So we're going to do this with a JavaScript interval function here, and the way this works is we use this set interval keyword, make a function here, and kind of the format of this is what we need to do and the interval time, what to do in the interval time we're going to do it in. So we want this bot to update. We're going to make it update about every hour. So this is in milliseconds. So let's do 1000 milliseconds in a second times 60 seconds in a minute times 60 minutes in an hour. So that timing should get us to an update once every hour. And what we're going to do is obviously we're going to update the price. So this will be another place, so I'll put in a placeholder called update price function. Good to go. Now, a couple other things. We're going to need to, I'm going to put a placeholder here for the keep alive function. So we're going to use Express to set up a virtual host that we're going to ping to keep this bot alive. So we'll have to put that there. We'll define that out later. And once we have that, that's all we really need. So now we just need the bot to log in, and we log in using the bot token. So this bot token is not something we're going to put directly in the code. We're going to put it into the environmental variable. So if you've never worked with Replit before, environmental variables are on the left here. So what you're going to want to do is come in here to secrets. You're going to define something called bot token, and you're going to put your bot token there. And then we're going to reference it like this. All right. And so that is all we need right now. So now we'll go define out these other two files, and we'll be back. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the information I need from another bot here, because this is very repeatable and the same for whatever bot we're making that needs to use this. All right, and if you haven't done it yet, make sure we get that Express package installed as well. All right, so this looks good. Just copy this as is, or copy and paste it from mine. Now let's build this update price function. For this particular bot, what I'm going to be using is the Jupyter Aggregator REST API to fetch Solana token prices. And you can use whatever you want here. Any REST API works. You can edit this as you see fit. But for Solana tokens, I highly recommend the Jupyter Price API. Okay, so I'm going to use isomorphic fetch to do my HTTP fetch here. And I'm going to build two async functions, one basically to get the price of the token, the other is going to update the bot. For my fetch price function, this is going to be an async function because we do need to await for the response. We're going to call this fetch price. It'll take an input, a symbol, parameter. All right, so let's jump over to Jupyter docs real fast. And we want to look at the REST API. Perfect. So if you can see here, the format for this is pretty simple. We've just got a URL here, and the last bit of the URL is the token price that we want. So check it for Sol. This is the format of the data that's returned. Let's see what we have for SViz. Perfect. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the front half of this URL here because we want this to be adaptable for different tokens. At least I'm building it that way for you guys. We have constant URL equals. This needs to be a string plus symbol. Ta-da! So that should that URL should get us to the price data we want. If you're getting your price data from a different source, different API, this is the line you would want to update to get that configured properly. All right, now we need to fetch the information. So I'm going to make a variable called price info. And we're going to await, fetch, and fetch from the URL. But there's something key we need to do here. So we want to get this returned in a readable format. So we actually want to do this .json on the end of this to get it working right. All right, now that this should return something in readable format. All right, we're going to return this price info. All right, now next thing we need to do obviously is update the bot. So we're gonna make another async function to update the bot. We're gonna call it updateBot. All right, we'll give it two input parameters. One will be the symbol, and we need the client object to update the bot. All right, so let's get the price info from our other function. Price info, we'll use this fetch price function. You can do this all as one function or be a little bit more elaborate with your organization and make a new class for this, but I wanted to do it like this just to keep it sort of simple. All right, one other thing we're going to need here is we're going to need the guild ID or the server ID for the server that the bot is in. Otherwise, we won't be able to update the bot's nickname within the server. So I'm going to jump back to Discord very quickly. We're going to grab our server ID. The way you can do this is by right-clicking on the server and clicking copy ID. If this option isn't available to you, you need to go into your settings and under advanced, turn on developer mode. All right, back to here. So I'm going to add this guild info is another guild info, guild ID. It's going to be another secret. So we're going to make this another environmental variable. We'll paste it in. Don't necessarily want to share that with everybody. All right, now in the update process, we're going to need to get the guild member cache. We do this by, I'm going to make a new variable here, guild equals client dot guilds cache get, and then we're going to use our server ID here. What did I call this? Guild ID? Guild ID. Okay, now we need to get the guild, I guess the member object for the bot. This guild members cache get. Yeah, and then we're going to get the member based on the client.user.id, which is the bot that we're programming now. All right, and what are we going to do with this? We are going to set the nickname. So this up here, this is the nickname in the server. We're going to update, when we update this price, we're updating the nickname. So coming back here, we're going to update the nickname of the bot, and we're going to use, you can reformat this however you want, but I'm going to use the token symbol, and then we're getting the price in US dollars for this particular bot. So we're going to do the price info data.price. So I'm just digging down into the JSON data here to get the USDC price. and we'll put a USD on the end. All right, now we need to export the function that we're going to use in index. So this is going to be just this update bot function. All right, so now that you've got keep alive and update price all defined out, we're going to go ahead and clean up this index file, get this all sorted. So we had some placeholders here to call the update price function. Let's go ahead and work with that. So we're going to call in update bot. Well, we should probably import it first. Update bot. We need this from okay, update bot. We're going to pass it the client object and symbol. We're going to use token symbol. There. Good to go. So that'll update the price initially when the bot logs in. We're going to copy that. And then we also want to call that on intervals to keep the price updating at the time interval we specified. So last thing we're doing, we're going to add in the keep alive here. We're just going to call this down here at the bottom. All right, and we're good to go. You can click run if we want, and doesn't look like we've got any errors. Host URL is coming up, so we are good to go. All right, so now that we have our bot mostly cobbled together, we're ready to put this on the server. If you are forking this from Replit or copying my code directly, the link to it is in the description. Go ahead and check that out. If you're forking this and you want to just update this to the token of your choosing, update this token symbol to what you want to get the price of, and update this text here to set what you're watching. And that's it. Then all you'll have to do is invite the bot to your server and click run. All right, so the next step here is going to be adding the bot to the server. So we want to navigate back to the developer portal. And the first thing we want to do is go to the OAuth2 tab on the left. We're going to need to add a redirect link. This is not super important, but it is required. It's just wherever Discord is going to redirect to after you invite your bot to the server. So I'm just going to put Replit in here because that's where we're building the bot. All right, now that I got my redirect link, we're going to generate a link that will invite our bot to the server. So there's a lot of information here, scopes. Doesn't need to be super complicated. You can click more things than this if you want to potentially set your bot up for future expansion. But I'm just going to use guilds bot, select my redirect URL, and then under bot permissions, we want to make sure that we have manage nicknames, change nickname, and that should be it. Hopefully that gets us everything we need. All right, so we'll copy that link, put it in a browser. It's a big note, you have to be an admin to add a bot to a server. You've got to be an admin in that server. So we're going to add this bot in. All right, coming in, let's see our bot on the server. So let's go ahead and find him. Here he is. What we need to do is give him a role that will elevate his permissions so that he can change his own nickname here. I've got a custom role here created called PriceBot. Boom, now here we go. We've got our token, we've got the price, everything's updating. Let's jump back and update this and rerun it and see if it's working see if it's working. Sol, and then we'll update this text to Solana. Run it again. And we see it updates. All right, so there's only one more thing we need to do, and it is critical. So after about 15 minutes or so, this bot will go offline because Replit, after inactivity, it'll just stop running. We want it to keep running, so we need to ping that virtual express host that we set up and keep pinging that on an interval to keep this bot online. A lot of people used to use Uptime Robot for this. Uptime Robot has now ceased allowing pings on Replit because it was being used so much for bots, but that's okay. There's a great workaround. We're going to use fresh ping. So I'm just going to Google fresh ping here and fresh app.freshping.io. All right, we're just going to click on fresh ping. So we got to make the URL to monitor. The URL we want to monitor is this URL up at the top of our Replit from the Express host. What we're going to do is add that in there. It does require an email. So put in your email and then click Start Monitoring. And now that's going to ping that at a consistent interval that'll keep your bot online. All right, that's all there is to this, guys. Easy as can be. You can fork this from my Replit. The link is in the description, or you could build your own and build it out to however you want to do it. But hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks.